So, have y'all ever knew a person that, fan a certain profession, comedy. Have you knew a person that, like, always talked about that they want to be a comedian and they're actually a funny person, but they don't actually put in any effort to go sign up for any stand-ups or open mics or anything?
I do know this one person. She used to always come to me talking about this web series she wanted to do. Never got around to actually doing it. Been talking about it probably for like 3 years at this point. But as far as I know, not a scene has been shot. Ain't nobody been casted. They ain't found a location. But I have heard a lot of talk. So yeah, I think I can relate to you. Keep going.
Whatever. It's cases like that. You gotta, when it's a larger crowd, I'm talking about the individual person. Because when it comes to other people, as you know, some people will be like, oh, yeah, I'm down for it. Then the day up, man, I can't even make it. My toe hurting. I can't even come through. I'm not talking about as a group or collective. You know what I'm saying? Because people, you can't rely on people unless you know that you got some solid people.
Right.
But as an individual, what do people do to actually put in their work to get their stuff out there? Do you have anybody that you know, something like that?
I think in some way that we're all kind of like that. Just because I feel like we get caught up in going through the motions of life. Like, okay, how can I was just thinking about this the other day. Like, when you're young, you say, when I grow up, I want to be. When I grow up, I want to do this, I want to do that. And then now that you're grown and you get there to the point where you can do these things, like, there's always something there that we kind of put in the way of what we really want to do to kind of, I don't know, maybe it makes us level, but I just feel like life gets in the way a lot of sometimes when people really have goals, you know. Maybe it's fear.
Maybe.
Could possibly be fear of actually making it, maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah. What do you guys think?
Fear is something and that's the thing too. If you motivated enough for something, whether life gets your way, because life won't always get in your way. Mm-hmm. After a certain point of life getting in your way, it becomes an excuse for you. You don't put no effort in because like, oh man, stuff happened in my life and I wasn't able to do it. I'm like, girl, that happened 2 weeks ago. Why you can't do something about it now? Because like I think I'm at that point now. Like, I won't lie. Sometimes I'll be making excuses. I don't know. It's just you have to be the change you want to see in your life. Mm-hmm. And you can't just keep making excuses.
But but that's the thing. How do you become that change when, okay, so if it's not fear, say that, it's something that you really want and you have that motivation. We all get discouraged and you might have that spark of motivation, but what gets you to accomplish those things that you finally want? What do you guys think?
I feel like when you talk to people and let them know if I don't know, certain people, when they see, like, man, she seems serious. Won't you come through to this one? It's all about talking to people and getting yourself out there in some type of way that'll keep their motivation going. Like, I just want to lay on the couch and watch TV. But I be having friends like, oh, come through, whatever. And I already agreed to go through, and I don't want to look like a flake because I know I got some friends that don't like flake. But even though I don't feel like going, but once I go, I'm just like, oh, so I'm happy that I went. I'm happy, I'm happy that I actually did this. And it give me more motivation to continue doing stuff like that. What about you?
See, I'm the type of person where I just set a goal and I just accomplish it. So this idea of people who set goals that they don't get around to getting to, I don't really fully understand that. I think in this day and age, it's very easy for people to just say they want to do things. Oh, I want to be a rap motherfucker 30 years old. I want to do this. I want to do that. And it's like, we live in an age where it's all about the talk and not about actually producing any results. Like, you can get a lot of people hyped up and following you. A lot of this shit is like social media, shit. I don't know. Maybe I'm going off into a special case, but I feel like a lot of people hype stuff up on social media and then they don't follow through with it. Oh, I'm about to do this. I'm about to do that. And people, are waiting for something to happen. Well, I want to see the results. Right. They never get around to doing it. I don't think it's necessarily a motivation thing. I think for a lot of people, they didn't really have like a clear path to achieve the goal in the first. It's very easy to say, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. Like, you're a little kid, like, I want to be an astronaut. Mm-hmm. But you're a 25-year-old woman.
It's still possible at 25.
Unlikely. If you have not started a path that would lead you to becoming an astronaut, if you work at Costco now and you're 25 years old, I hate to break it to you, but you ain't about to become no motherfucking member of the space program anytime soon. It's not going to happen in this lifetime, unfortunately.
he brought up a good point. Harold brought up a good point. People don't. I think that's why it falls short too, because people have these ideas and they don't plan it out. They just like, oh man, I want to do it, and they try to do it and it don't succeed. But it does. Even though everybody have like technology now, and they write stuff. I like to write down, and it's actually good when you see a plan. Like I recently did a vision board, and that's why I know why I'm trying. Like, what's my end game or whatever you want to call it. It helped me. I'm like, okay, I can do this to get out my point for what I'm trying to do.
So what do you guys feel? This question might be more for you too, Harold, because you said like you don't have a problem with accomplishing the goals that you set for yourself. What are some things that
You're a different kind of person.
I think we all are different kind of people, but what are some things that you do that you feel help you to stay focused and accomplish the things that you want?
I just say about it. I don't really too much talk about stuff I'm gonna do. I just do it. I think that when you sit around discussing things all day, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, it's very easy to not do those things. And it's very easy to lead a lot of people into believing that you're gonna do things that you're never really gonna do. So just do shit. Don't sit around hyping it up. Don't make announcements saying I'm doing this on this date, or I'm gonna get this type of job, or I'm gonna go back to school. Just do it, and then people will see you doing it, and bam, you can make your own personal goals. But I feel like the moment you start making it a point to announce that shit, you're already kind of
halfway failing.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's people wanting acceptance from other people to feel like maybe they belong in what they say they're gonna do, or they just want attention? Like, what do you guys think?
A lot of people do just want attention. You see, that's the thing with social media. Like earlier, I was showing you the vlogs. These people not really doing shit, but they got all these people watching them and following them because they got that attention on them. They want attention.
Right.
What do you feel about that? This is kind of your era because you in this young generation, even though you got an old soul.
About people, using social media for attention?
People just want attention, period, and not actually, they just want to get noticed, or they just want to say they doing some shit just to get people to, like, oh, and then be like, then when they don't do it, this is shit that crack me up. Then when they don't do it, and people call them out for not doing it, they're like, you a fucking hater. I got all these haters.
I think it's really petty. I know, I do, because, like, I hate when people blow smoke. It's one thing that I just really can't stand, especially because in my lifetime, watching my parents work, watching like older generations in my family work so hard just to feed their families. It lets me know that when we're young, we have all this energy, we have all this capability just to do things, and people are so focused on what's going on online and what everybody else is doing instead of growing themselves. Like, this is the time where you put that stuff in. You just don't talk. Like, it's almost like it's a competition to see who could talk the most shit but not do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it from my generation because you know me. I work hard. Like I do everything I need to do to get where I want to be. I just feel like maybe people aren't getting the attention they need at home, so they get caught up online with people they don't know. Maybe it's easier to do that with people you don't know. I don't know.
It's like living a fictional life. You a bum. You in your mama's basement.
Really?
You didn't graduate from high school. Not you.
No.
I'm talking about this hypothetical social media person, right? They don't got shit going for them, but what they can do is promote this image of them as whatever the fuck they want to be on social media. So they can talk about how they got an album coming out in 6 months. This motherfucker ain't recorded shit. He ain't got no studio money. He ain't got none of that shit. They can talk about how they gonna go back to school one day. And people on social media are just gonna believe that at some point this happens. They don't have to show any results. So it's very easy to just hype shit up and never follow through with it.
Yeah. The attention-seeking people that always irritate me. I don't like people to know my finances. Like, if you not one of my close friends, everybody know that I get a lot of free shit, and I'm cheap. But people that be like, I've seen and been some places that they borrow money from people to take these pictures. Yeah. They're like, oh, I got all this money or whatever. I'm like, girl or boy, whatever. I know your real situation. Who you stunning for? Then when you get robbed, You like, oh, I got robbed. I'm like, well, good thing it wasn't your money anyway, right?
Well, why do you guys think like people are really craving this attention? I know I kind of touched on it earlier. Like I said, like maybe they aren't getting the attention they need at home, but maybe it could be something more. I don't know, but that brings up a good point because I do see a lot of people on social media and they're like flexing, trying to feel like they doing something, but to me it looks really goofy, you know. Like even if I was like the richest person in the world, I'm not about to come out with a stack of Benjis like, look at me, I'm balling, you know.
Most rich people don't.
Yeah.
I'm like, they keep that shit to themselves.
That's a cultural thing, you know. That's a black thing mostly, you know. You don't see dudes like Zuckerberg and Bill Gates running around flashing $100 bills, but you see Ray Ray down the street over there working at the car wash. He somehow is stunting on Instagram.
But it's not just like in the new generation Z, it's not just like black kids doing this. In fact, I see a lot more Latino and Middle Eastern kids doing this too, and in their own countries. And they're like, I don't know if it's like this hip hop thing.
That's what it is. It's hip hop culture.
Mm-hmm. But that's the thing too. Like that's something. If you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. People see these lifestyles that they want. Like these rappers and musicians or whatever that's promoting this lifestyle, they not doing that shit. Mm-hmm. They talking cheating on their wife and how many bitches they fucking and all this money that they get.
Well, they might be cheating and fucking bitches.
But I'm saying, like, a lot of them, I don't know, get married and have real wives, but they don't promote that in their business. To a certain extent, I was reading this article, and these artists and stuff, they are kind of like ruining the younger generation that's following them, because I'm like, you're not putting no positive into the universe. You helping this shit go south.
Right. I think there's this thing I like to call the Kylie Jenner effect that's going on in this new generation, and it's that whole I can get rich quick thing, you know? Yeah. And the thing that really bothers me about that is because we're in the age with technology when things are so easy to do. You can make your own music without a studio. You can produce a script and make a movie without having millions and billions of dollars to do it. And people are just diving into this artistic culture without actually thinking about the work that true artists put in. Like, for an artist, that's their job. They work for that. You know, it's not just an attention thing, and that's what people see. Like you were saying, that's what they see. But that's a job. For instance, Cardi B, people think this, like, yes, her life has tremendously changed over this past year.
True.
I mean, from her performance at the VMAs a year ago to now she has like a whole album, a babe, all this stuff. But that's all people see is that 1 year. No one likes to reach back to Love and Hip Hop Cardi B.
Or stripper Cardi B.
Or stripper Cardi B.
You can find footage of stripper Cardi B. I've seen the videos. The girl knew what she was doing.
Right. But it's that Kylie Jenner effect that I like to call it, where it's just like they just see wealth and automatically think, like anything can just happen with their money. Like, it's just easy to become famous, and once you have fame, now you're automatically gonna be rich.
Yeah,
that ain't true.
But a lot of things too, I always notice, and a lot of little internet stars do say this because they don't know what to do with it. They have all these followers and stuff. Like, man, I'm still broke. I'm like, because you're not using those followers and that attention to do something positive instead of stunning. Like, oh, I'm in Miami. Oh, that's cool and all. Everybody want a vacation. But you even say that yourself, you're still broke. So who are you stunning for? Why are you stunning for them? What are they doing for you?
And that's another, like, okay, I'm kind of on the fence about this, but I have to ask, how do you guys feel about millennials nowadays not being able to necessarily afford to buy a home? So instead, they put that money, or I won't even say necessarily afford, they can't afford it, but the money that we should be saving and using to buy a home and to put towards investing in our future, a lot of us spend traveling. How do you guys feel about that?
I mean, I guess property is expensive. It's not as easy to purchase a house now. Like our lives are not set up in a way like our grandparents, where it was like, you know what, you get your first job after high school, that's guaranteed to pay you enough for you to get money for a down payment for a house and get a 30-year mortgage, and you should be set because your job is going to be stable for the next 30 years. a lot of people are realizing that that's not really promised anymore. Mm-hmm. So you have people that are just foregoing that entirely, and they're like, look, I'm going to live in the moment, which I don't think is the smartest thing, but that's what leads to the traveling and buying the expensive cars and just blowing all your money as soon as you get it. Because it's like, well, what's the point? I'm never going to be able to afford property anyway. You know, the economy and, I don't know, all of that shit.
I feel like for the young millennials that this is a fact. You can always go back to school, It's not all that great to go all late in life, but even if they get themselves a year or two, experience your life to know where you want to go. Because that's the thing with a lot of younger people. They don't know what they want to do with their life. They don't think past high school, like the real world. Like, even when at Columbia, Harold had went to a manifest or whatever. And he was like, this ain't the real world. You know what I'm saying? And to a certain extent, he was right. Like, you experience people, you meet all these people, but it's not the real world. Like, going to different countries and experience different cultures, that give you a different point of view. And then when you do come back, you probably know what you want to do. I support people that want to travel if they got the money to do it, but also have a fallback plan when you come back. Don't spend all your money traveling like, damn, I got to go stay at the shelter. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
or shit, don't come back.
I'm running this motherfucker round.
Right. And I'm kind of on the fence about it. Like, I save money and I make sure that I'm putting stuff to the side. So how can I put this? Okay, how we were talking about earlier, how you plan for the things that you want, and when you set a goal, you know how to reach it. That's what I put my money aside for those things, that the goals that I've made for myself, and I want to reach them. So along with my plan, it's the finances. So they're both going up. But at the same time, I'm like, I do want to travel. I've been in Chicago my whole life. I love it. Beautiful city. But like you said, there's so much more of a world out there.
Different culture.
When I had the chance to travel free on someone else's budget.
Right. Which is the program, my cousin done it.
Right. Which is what I loved at the time. I did feel like it was a breath of fresh air. Like, I got inspired to do something different. Like, I wanted to, I don't know. It gave me back the creative spark that I was looking for, just by experiencing someone else's culture, someone else's life. And even if Chicago is great because if you go to a different neighborhood, you can kind of get that experience. But it's nothing like saying you lived here all your life and then going to the West Coast, or then going to the East Coast, or going down south. Like, the cultures, even though we're all in the same country, it's pretty, like, oh goodness. But I wanted to kind of see, like, what else you guys think about as far as when do you guys think is a good time to kind of start traveling while you're young, but also still saving? Like, at what point can you kind of take the money, like splitting the money that you're saving with money to start doing other things to build yourself? Because you can't just save. That's not gonna bring you the wealth and the goals that you need. Like, you also have to invest. So I guess I'm kind of asking, what do you guys think are good investment points at a young age?
It depends on how much money you're making. If you making enough money just to get by, I don't think that you should be planning no trips to Morocco anytime soon. But, if you got a good job and, maybe you can afford to take some time off. I'm taking time off from my profession. Like, I quit my job a few months ago, and I've been doing my own thing. But I'm fine. I can afford to do that, fortunately, but I know a lot of people can't. So if you cannot do that, then I would advise that you not quit your job and decide you're going to travel across Europe for the next 6 months.
So what are some things that people at a young age can invest in that aren't necessarily like traveling and having that experience, but also saving their money? What do you guys?
When you say invest, you mean like financial investment?
Financial investment, whether it could be time invested, but just something that's helping you go towards your goals. That's not just like you're saving to buy a house. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, again, I guess it depends on what type of goal you are looking for and what point in your life. Like, where you at. If you having that quarter life crisis a lot of people have when they turn 25, where they're not sure. I feel like that's a big time when a lot of people decide that maybe the job that they got outside of school, once they graduated, they start questioning their career choice and the profession that they chose. I feel like I definitely went through that. I know a lot of people end up going through that around their early or late 20s, whatever.
Yeah.
What was that experience like for you?
Well, I was at that point. I did not particularly like my job specifically. It wasn't so much the profession, and I was going through some other life issues, and it just made me seriously question. Like I was considering quitting my job on the spot. I wasn't too fond of where I was living at the time. I was in the suburbs of Chicago. I wanted to be in the city or a city somewhere. So I just was really rethinking a lot of my decisions that I had made immediately after school.
Yeah, I feel like it's part of growing up and realizing yourself. Because a lot of people don't get the right motivation and get the right type of questions earlier on in life. Like, my daughter 10, and I try to get her to start thinking for herself early. Because I'm like, you're not going to always live with me, even though she thinks she is. I'm like, you're going to want to experience life and do stuff for yourself. You got to think for yourself. And I know I wasn't. We're not always raised to look at a certain type of way. Like my mother, I learned how to budget from my mother. That's like my big thing. But she told me how to budget like certain type of things. I never learned how to do like investments in the stock market. I never learned how to do. I'm learning that shit as an adult because I searched and looked for it myself. Mm-hmm. It's just a point like you got to be mature enough too, because it's some people that's not even thinking about beyond what's happening right now. Then I feel like everybody gets to that point where you're like, damn, I'm growing the fuck up. I got to realize, what was I doing? You know, I bought all the fucking shoes for $900 each, you know? Mm-hmm. People, they focus not at the right points in life. They motivated by the wrong thing.
Did you have a quarter life crisis?
I didn't have a quarter life crisis. I had a a little after a quarter life crisis. Mm-hmm. It started when I was 28. I'm just like, the fuck? Like, I'm not where I want to be. Mm-hmm. So I've been busy trying to change stuff up to get to where I want to be. And I feel like, for whatever reason now, I feel more calm. Like, I'm not really happy at my job, but I won't be there much longer. But still, like I was telling you earlier, I got a mindset like I'm not here for that. I'm not here for this drama. I don't know. Something just switched.
So what things did you guys invest in when you were younger that you kind of grew out of, and where did you direct that energy? Where did you start investing that energy to do other? Once you realized like it was different, that things had to change.
Well, I can tell you, I'm just 30, so 2 years ago I was realizing. But when I was younger, I didn't save. Like, for a long time, it was just me and my mother. And then whatever dude that I was with, I had, like, looked out for them. I had more money when I was younger than now because I used to hustle hard. It was a point where I was in school full-time, and I worked 3 jobs. Mm-hmm. And I never had time to spend this money. So I would just give it to people around me to spend. That was stupid. I know. I could have saved that. Mm-hmm. But what about you?
For me, it wasn't so much like anything that I did or invested in, but rather things that I didn't do that I switched up after my little quarter life crisis or whatever. Mm-hmm. Back then, I felt like one of my biggest issues was I had a relatively small social circle, so that was something I wasn't too content with. And so for me, a big thing was branching out and meeting a lot of new people and getting involved in activities that I kind of wanted to do but didn't really pursue when I was younger. So for me, it was just kind of a lifestyle change. It wasn't so much things I did that I didn't like, but rather things that I didn't do that I wanted to.
And how did that help you? Well, first, how did you get to that point, and then how did that help you?
Well, a catalyst for me was I was in a long, 1.5 year long relationship that was kind of topsy-turvy. And once that ended, it was what it was. Mm-hmm. But once that ended, that was like a big spark for me to try a lot of new things.
One thing that I like about Harold, he goes through these little phases. I've been his friend for like 7.5 years. It's like the evolution of Harold. And the thing that he say is true. Like every time he said he's about to do something, he would do it with like no hesitation. I'm like, shit, I need that motivation.
Yeah.
What?
Or do you feel like you've had that since you were a kid?
Nah, for me, it really started I didn't have much motivation as a kid. In general, I was kind of a troublemaker. But for me, I think the motivation is the first, real life goal I set for myself, as lame as it was like freshman year in high school. I was a terrible student in grade school. So I was like, fuck it, let's see if I can actually get all A's once. So that was like the first goal. And then so I did good in high school, and then I went on to college, and I was like, let's see if I can actually complete my degree program. And I fucking did it. Let's see if I can get my first job, my first car, in my own place. I fucking did all of that shit, no problem. I was actually talking to my girlfriend just last night about how I have accomplished most of my like goals that I had set for myself. So I'm kind of at a point in my life where I'm like, well, what's the next step? I don't know what to do.
What succeeding in this podcast?
That's amazing. That is that easy for you, because I know a lot of times I struggle just with self-strength and motivation to do things that I say that I'm gonna do. Like for the longest of time, I was in a car accident about 2 years ago, and I badly injured my English is all over the place right now. I injured my back and my neck really bad, and before that, I used to work out all the time. Like gym, home, no matter. I just used to stay in shape. After that, I stopped dancing. I felt like my mood changed. I didn't want to go out as much. Like I felt really lazy. And just now, like I'll say, maybe around the time when school started to end, I started feeling like I really needed to change. Like I need to pull myself out of it. But it's hard because I'm still working a lot. And when I'm not working, all I want to do is just like
be lazy.
Right. Yeah. So I feel myself struggling with that right now. Is there any advice you can give me on what to do to help me get out of that funk?
Stop doing that shit.
I mean, but
I know it sounds super simple, but it's like what they say about going to the gym. Like the hardest part about going to the gym is actually getting to the gym. Mm-hmm. Once you're there, it's very easy to, like, you're there. You might as well start working out. You get on the equipment, you do your thing. The hardest part for doing anything is like that initial hurdle of convincing yourself to actually do it. I'm not sure what exactly it is you want to do, but whatever you're doing, stop doing that shit and do what you want to do.
Okay, you know what? And I was thinking about this. This might kind of shift the conversation into a different direction. I feel like the relationships that we're in also kind of affect who we are and how we change. I know for me in the past couple of years, that's been a tremendous thing, whether it's like intimate or family, friendship, whatever kind of relationship. Do you guys feel like there's any relationships in your life that have helped you, or relationships that were really toxic that you knew you had to get rid of to do better?
I don't know.
we covered this in the last podcast to a degree.
But I'm gonna go with the high road, the positive stuff.
Yes.
I feel like it's some people that I know in like a circle of people that I know that's like doing their own thing, and they are motivation to me. I'm like, man, they work a lot, and I know they tired, but they still find time to make their dream happen. Like my friend Eddie, not the one that was supposed to be here today, but my rapper friend, he put in so much for his dream, and he was like, he don't really care if he don't have time to do nothing else. He was like, this is what I want to do, and I want to make it happen. And that's motivational to me, because he work like 12-hour shifts when he do work. And then after that, he in the studio. I'm like, man, when do you sleep? Mm-hmm. I was on the phone with him like 3 o'clock in the morning one time, and he had just got off work at like 6. So from like 6 to whatever time he was in the studio, he's like, oh no, just taking a break, have a little conversation with you, but I'm about to give. I'm like, wow, that's something that's motivational to me. If somebody that has a son, he has a child or whatever, he's doing all this other stuff to make his family better. I'm like, man, because sometimes I won't lie, I be using that as an excuse. But then again, my daughter be my motivation for a lot of stuff. I'm like, I don't care what if I don't like a job or something. I still got somebody that's looking at what I'm doing. Like, for example, I'm doing these video, like, vlogs and stuff. That motivated my daughter. She want to show the world that she know how to cook, and she can. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, little stuff like that. I'm like, I got somebody looking at me. So that's motivation, too, for me to stay on the right path.
Okay. Harold, any relationship for you?
Oh, yeah. Most of my relationships have been, like, positive in terms of, getting that encouragement and motivation from the person that I'm involved with. But I think it goes beyond just your like romantic relationships. But your friend circle obviously is a big factor. If you hang out with bum ass niggas, that is what you will be. You ain't gonna rise above the bums around you. Please believe. And that's one thing I would give my friends. They successful motherfuckers. Mm-hmm. And, it's like if you not doing shit with your life, you falling behind the pack. Yes. And they just gonna run ahead and do their own thing anyway. You gonna look like the fucking bum.
True.
So, 100%, if you surrounded by bum-ass motherfuckers, then that's what your ass is finna be.
Okay. Since no one wanted to touch on this one, I guess I will. There's 2 relationships that I feel really affect a person in their growth in life. One is family. Yeah. And that's the one nobody wants to talk about. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love my family, but I feel when you're growing as a person and you see yourself going in a direction that you need to go, sometimes I feel family are the ones to actually hold you back.
You know what? When you said that, literally before you came here, like 20, 30 minutes before you came here, I was on the phone with my cousin. And she kind of blew the fuck out of me. Because you've met my cousin. She's super, like, Afrocentric, and she's doing all her stuff. And I don't believe in everything she believes in, but I support her. You know what I'm saying? And I go to her stuff. She sat there and told me she only, like, promote or do some shit for the people she support. I'm like, girl, you left you over the phone. I'll slap shit out you. What the fuck do you mean? I don't always believe in what you believe in, but I support you. I feel like, and I might sound like dude that got mad on social media, but I'm like, she one of the main people I support. I got her back doing everything. When she don't have money and I have money, I'm like, I feel like when I do become successful, you gonna benefit from my success. Why the fuck you not supporting me now and like spending people? But you literally just asked me to come south all the way far to support you. Are you serious? Yeah. I had to get off the phone with her because she just took me to another level. But family be like the main. It's like people that I just meet on the street, complete strangers, don't know me. When I substitute at a different center, this girl, all I told her is what I was doing and like some of the videos I got in podcast. She listened to all that shit and went to it and subscribed to my shit. Only knew her for a couple hours.
Right.
But my own cousin, that she know I go through all this stuff, and I put up with a lot of shit from her that I wouldn't put up with if you not my family. You know what I'm saying? And for her to say that to me, I'm like, bitch, girl, let me call you later. Because...
And see, that's one thing I feel like we... as a culture, as a black culture, that we need to touch on a little more is how our relationships with our family members actually affect our growth as a person. And I hate to be the one to say this, but sometimes a lot of the relationships with people in our family can actually be toxic to the growth that we have. And I feel that it may be because it's a little too close to home and your family feel like they're the ones that know you the best because, well, they've seen you grow up. But I feel sometimes maybe that part of you while you're younger is like, okay, you knew me then, but I've evolved since then. And these are the goals that I want to reach. And these are the things I want to do. And I can even say for myself, like, as I'm growing, don't get me wrong, I have a lot of family who support the things that I do and appreciate me as a person. But there are some people like, oh, you want to do that? Well, what is that really going to do? How is that going to benefit you? Why don't you become a doctor, a lawyer, or accountant or something like that? And I'm like, well, God hasn't given me those tools. I'm using what God has given me to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't fight the gifts that you have. They're the things that are going to make you great. And I feel a lot of times family, they're the ones who... they may see the gift, but they only see, especially as an artist, but they only may see it as a hobby and not an actual something that you can make a living off of. What do you guys think?
Yeah. It's always, that's the thing too. Like, that's what switch up on you. Like, these people that were saying all this stuff, like, oh man, I don't think you'll make it. But then you start doing stuff. Like, when I first started getting into video production, because I've always liked taking pictures of people. I got on their nerves or whatever. But when I actually started doing freelance stuff, and I did like a wedding and like a prom, and I started getting paid for what I like to do, people like, oh, I didn't know you. Can I get some money? But then you start like, oh, yeah, she do pictures and stuff.
Right.
I had to get paid first before you acknowledge that I'm doing what I want to do.
Like, why not pour into me while I'm doing that? You know, why not encourage the gift that I have? And even more to that, if you are an artist or anyone who's making it in your family, you're the successful one, you know, and then everyone starts gravitating towards you with their issues and their problems and looking for financial security. And it's like,
you didn't even support me when we was all poor.
Right. So are you just gonna like pour into everyone else and let yourself become that empty vessel with nothing left? Or do you help people, but then like what is that cutoff point? You know, when you don't want to seem like an asshole, but you gotta tell your family.
I feel like Harold perfect for this because he know how to like shut people down.
Okay, so yeah, what do you feel is that cutoff point for family? You're like, okay, I've been helping you, but I can't do this anymore.
Oh, I don't even help to begin with. I mean, I have certain, like, first of all, to be fair, the people in my family, the rare occasion where they do contact me for help, it's pretty rare and I don't have a problem. So I've never been in a situation where it's like somebody keeps coming and I have to be like, you know what, I can't do this no more. So as far as when you should cut that off, when you get annoyed enough to do it. Simple as that.
Well, what would you say?
I can't do this no more.
Just straight up
simplicity.
Yeah.
Simplicity.
Why's it got to? What you wanted to drag it off for? Sugarcoat that shit. Just say it. I can't do this for you no more. I done did it for you before. I ain't doing it no more.
What if they come back and try to slash your tires?
What favors exactly were you doing in the first place? They slash your tires.
I'm saying, like, let's be real. People be super bitter, like, because everybody got their drama. Everybody got their stuff, right? And say if you were one of those people that someone felt that they could come to when they really needed something. And now that you cut them off, now they just feel like, oh, man, like, okay, you ain't rocking with me, forget you then.
That's not the type of person, I feel like I'm a decent judge of character. I wouldn't have gotten involved with an individual like that.
But that's their family.
That don't mean shit.
No, to an extent.
If you got a hostile ass, criminal ass cousin.
You right.
Who is unstable and might slash your tires if you stop paying his phone bill. You probably should not have started paying his phone bill in the first place.
Okay, but you already started paying the phone bill.
Well, then you done fucked up. And your tire's about to get slashed. Congratulations. Good luck getting to work.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, the best way to stay out of trouble is to avoid it from the get-go.
Yeah. Okay. But sometimes it's not always like that because...
It's not.
Like, sometimes people go left field when you don't expect them to do some shit. Mm-hmm. And you actually doing something out the kindness of your heart. You're not even expecting no return. And then motherfuckers, they get used to you helping them. Or you helped them once. Like, you did it before. What's the problem now? Because I did it before. What the fuck you mean?
That's the issue. Is it shouldn't get to the point where you just become like your help is so consistent that a motherfucker just dependent on you to do stuff. Not a grown motherfucker, a kid maybe, but ain't no adults dependent on me. And I ain't dependent on no damn adults.
No, so like after that first time, you do the favor, and then if they come back around, let them know like it was just a favor. That was a one-time thing. God bless. Send them on their way. Absolutely.
You know what? There was recently an incident in my family where someone who, shall we say, should not be living on their own because they not in a physical situation where they can, care for themselves personally. Mm-hmm. They got sick. A bunch of family members had to rush over there in the middle of the day to help them out and made it clear. Most of us made it clear with that one incident because we had warned this person for years leading up to this incident. Mm-hmm. We're like, look, this is going to happen one day. It could be worse than what actually happened. The motherfucker could have been found dead in the house. But, after we all jumped and got involved in that particular situation and helped out that one time, the warning was given that this will not happen again. All right? Simple as that. If it happens again, it's on you. This is the lifestyle you chose. You chose not to have a job to pay your phone bill. All right? Do not slash my tires if I don't pay your phone bill. That's simple.
Okay, so there's another kind of relationship I want to talk about that kind of affects your growth as a person, and that is a professional relationship. And we were kind of talking about this earlier when we were chilling. And how you present yourself at work, or even if you're just saying like at a networking event or anything like that, a lot of people, I feel they don't really think about when they step out into the world that they are marketing themselves. And I know like a lot of people don't like to play, I don't think of myself as a brand. Well, unfortunately, that might be the term for it now, but everybody is a brand for themselves. Like, because you're yourself. How you dress, how you talk, how you interact with people, that's you. That's
a representation. Like, that's why I give an example. This center that I go to, I won't say that I was like a trendsetter substitute or whatever, but I know I can literally call 5 different centers that I've worked at, and I know they're going to give me hours if I need to. Because they see my work ethic. I don't come in there doing drama. I come in there and I get to know the kids. I get their name. I play with them. And I do my job. Like, I make sure they safe and not biting each other or attacking each other. Like you're supposed to do.
Right.
I don't go in there and be like, girl, did you see CC's skirt? Damn it! Like, you don't do no stuff like that. And
yeah, when you especially, and that's another thing, and even especially in the TV world, film world, when you walk into an environment and you immediately start gossiping, immediately start talking to people. First of all, you don't know who you're talking to. You don't know if they can be so and so's daughter, so and so's cousin. Like you never know. But when you go into that environment, whether it is that industry or any industry, and you immediately just give off this energy that's negative, and it kind of honestly, it kind of shows that you're insecure.
Yeah.
When you think about it, when you just like, why? You're not here for that. You're here to what? Handle your business, do your job, and go home. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. How do you feel about that, Harold?
Oh, so I maybe didn't make this clear. I'm not in the art world at all. I'm not
any professional setting.
Yourself as a brand, when you go into, I feel like you very professional. You pretty like, I don't know the word, but you. I won't say you're a simple guy. I don't know the word, but
simple is not a compliment.
No. I'm not saying. That's why I said I don't know how. But you like, you don't have this workplace drama. You go into work, and that's just me knowing you as my friend. I can just imagine how you are in the workplace. So that's what we asking you. Like, it don't have to be artistic.
I'm one of those people that doesn't really think of myself as a brand. I'm not like really trying to promote myself. I do have a resume, so that's about as branded as I get.
Yeah, still a brand.
I guess you can think of it that way. I'm not advertising shit, but all right.
Mm-hmm.
What was the question?
How you present yourself in a professional setting, pretty much.
How to do that?
No. How you present yourself in a professional setting.
When I'm in a professional setting, I go in there, I do the damn job, and I get the fuck out.
Exactly.
I'm not up in there trying to chit-chat. I mean, I have friends at work, but it's a very small group of people. I'm not... A lot of people in my job used to think that I was like a quiet person, because I'm not the loud motherfucker in the meetings. I'm not cracking jokes. I come in there and I do my job. I might chit chat with my coworkers from time to time, the ones that I'm not friends with, but I'm not trying to hang out with these motherfuckers after work.
I was gonna say, do you actually hang out with any of your coworkers at all outside of work?
Nah, not really. I mean, so I left my job. I was close with two guys there, maybe three people there, and they still contact me from time to time. I might get together and meet up with them for lunch, and the two of us did have like it was like a friendship, honestly, or three of us, I should say, had like a friendship going on. But aside from those three people, of maybe the 100+ people that I worked with over my time at that company, I don't talk to them motherfuckers.
Exactly.
And that's no disrespect to anybody there. It's like, look, I don't relate to y'all for the most part on any level, aside from the fact that this is the profession that we're all in. Mm-hmm. That don't mean I want to hang out with you and go out for drinks after work. Some people do that.
Yeah.
Gossip, yeah. So, I mean, some people do that. I recently hung out with a buddy of mine. His job had an open house event. And he took me to this open house event. And afterwards, him and a bunch of his coworkers went out for drinks, right? One of his coworkers, a woman who is of Hispanic descent, which makes this hilarious, is a Trump supporter. Her whole family's a Trump supporter. And she thought it would be a good idea to bring this up around all of us who clearly were not Trump supporters. And she got into this long diatribe about immigrants and blah, 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 despite the fact that her grandparents are like from Honduras or some shit. But she got into this long speech, and we're looking at her like, you're fucking crazy. The fact that you would even bring this up, I even told her at one point, I'm like, I'm not trying to get all political with you. She got all up in my face and was like, I want you to understand where I'm coming from. I'm like, bitch, I don't want to know where you're coming from. I don't want to know where you're going. Just get the hell out of my face. So,
was she drunk?
I mean, she had a few drinks, but this is my point.
Yeah.
She ended up giving my friend, her coworker, she was giving him hugs and, please don't hate me after all of this. And I'm like, lady, you are dispendable at your job, mind you, because she's not even like a core member of their office. She was basically the secretary. All right. And I'm like, you really should not be trying to draw this sort of negative attention to yourself. But now I can't imagine y'all are all going to go back to work on Monday and everybody's going to look at you like, oh yeah, that's just Sally, That's not her name. I don't remember the bitch name. But that's just Sally. You know, she's the nice lady that you know, she's like the secretary at the front desk. No, that's the crazy ass Trump supporting bitch that was crying and causing the scene in the bar.
Right, that story goes spread like wildfire. Yeah, and you know what? That's exactly to the point that I was making. You have to be careful of how you handle your professional relationships because they can stop you from growing.
Exactly.
Oh God, that's. In where I work, well, okay, the place where I worked before, I'm back where I am now. The environment was a little bigger. It was like an office space, like a small office space, but still enough people where you don't associate with everyone. And they would go out for drinks or go out to like games and drink and all this stuff. And they would try to like involve me in it. And I'm like, no, I'm cool. I'll have my one glass. I'll socialize, but then I'm going home. I feel like if you do go out with people at work and it's more so like a team building thing or whatever, you need to set up a certain time and point of when you go, what you do, and when you leave, so you keep it professional. I feel a lot of people, when they just get in that non-professional environment, they just think of it as hanging out.
Yeah.
And not actually seeing, like, these are people you gonna see on Monday morning, like you said.
These people you see most of the week, 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
Right. You know the little situation I was just telling you about earlier. Mm-hmm. I felt like this one young lady, she let people, like she went into work looking for friends, and she let these people, you know, probably potentially make her lose her job. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I can only tell you, you know, what I'm trying to tell you, but I made it clear to several of my coworkers, especially ones that keep trying to get into my personal life and shit. They're like, oh man, I'm like, I don't come here for that. You know, no offense to you, you're a sweet lady. I'll get you some lunch one day because you take me out to lunch. Mm-hmm. But you know, the information you're trying to pry for, you're not about to get. I'm not about to tell you none of that because I don't see you as that. Yeah. I see you as lady I work with, and that's what you are. You my co-teacher for the day because tomorrow I might even be here with your ass. Mm-hmm. I'm just here to take care of my child and pay my bills. I don't really care what the fuck going on in your life. Like it sound bad. It sound mean, but I'm like, man, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry, Tony beating your ass.
Damn.
Yeah, right? Right. That's too much for work anyway.
Police report. Running to me.
Right. A restraining order or some shit. I can't do nothing for you.
But little Sally over there about to fall. I got to go make sure she's safe. That's my job.
Right.
To work out, look out for these kids.
Right.
Because, you know, Samantha over there about to bite little Johnny. Like, I don't want to hear that. I just want to watch them and talk little stuff in between. Like, only be like, oh, so we changing this diaper? Okay, I got it. And I fit the food. You know, I'm just in that mindset. I'm not trying to...
That's why you gotta really be careful about the relationships you form with people at work. And I feel, with me, I kind of, I can tell people, I can kind of see their whole, the energy that they're giving off. And my thing is, like, and you definitely got to be careful with, like, those lunches when people, let me take you out to lunch. That usually means...
She was just telling me about that.
Yeah, let me bring you to some drama.
But the thing is, like, I'm at that point where I feel like I'm mature enough. I've lived and I made those mistakes in the past when I was younger. And I just go sit with you. I'm like, thanks for the food. And I probably, like, hold on, my daughter called it. And I'm like, it's kind of rude to be on the phone, but I'm, like, trying to shut that shit down. Like, I want you to know what this is. Food. Right.
And then I kind of constrict myself to certain topics with when I'm at lunch with people I work with, or even if it's like a business meeting or something.
Exactly.
Like how you were saying, like, girls going in on like the political poli-sci side. Stay away from politics. Stay away from religion. You know, if you want, talk about like what's going on in the news. Not weather, that's small talk, but like the violence in Chicago. That
can get political too. So maybe
to an extent, but I feel like if you talk about like a specific story on the news, you know what I'm saying?
Current events.
Yeah, current events are good, but make sure you
about Cardi B's latest.
Right.
You know, celebrities.
I stick to TV shows.
Yeah,
I'm like, you saw Power?
Yeah,
that shit was crazy.
Celebrities are good. Radio talk is good. Like about if people still listen to the radio.
I be self-promoting myself. That's the one thing I do talk about. I'm like, you can check out my website.
Yeah.
I know I probably young people know like, oh, this bitch always self-promoting. I'm like, you want to talk? Follow me.
Right. It's business, okay? That's what I'm trying to do, all right? Understand that. But yeah, just making sure that you restrict your work relationships to keep them professional, because when you start opening those relationships to other things, like I said, you never know who you're really talking to or where they can go in the next few years, and you don't want to stop yourself from growing because you don't know how to control your mouth. That's that's really what it is.
Yeah,
you don't know how to control your mouth.
People get a few drinks in them. You know, I was like at a little happy hour event, and they start talking crazy. And please believe it's gonna be a nigga like me that's there sober that's gonna remember everything your drunk ass said.
You don't drink,
and people say
I drink, but I don't drink heavily around coworkers.
Yeah,
true. One event, this happened a while ago. It was for somebody's birthday back when I worked at my previous job. I ain't gonna say it, but it was all my coworkers had went out. This is the first time I actually went out with my coworkers because they knew me like from Frankie at work, but I barely went out with them. And even as I was out with them, I usually bring my own little circle of friends where I know I can be safe as around if I do drink something. Right. And we was like dancing on the dance floor. So by me being with my friends while I was around my coworkers, I avoided a lot of drama that happened. And I didn't even was aware that happened because I was dancing, getting my alcohol out, and then once I had tired my cousin and my friends, we left. I was like, shit. They're like, damn, that happened?
But warning on that, though, because if you, also, like, I agree, like, I totally like that, but my thing is, like, know who you're bringing around, because you got to be careful of the type of people that you mix, you know what I'm saying? So, you don't want to bring, like, Cousin Kiki, who got a badass attitude and don't like nobody, right? around one of your supervisors that you know, like, they got a flip mouth. You know, you just got to be careful of the circles that you bring together. But I think that's the reason I like going like with people I know to meet up with like coworkers, because I actually do that too. I bring like maybe 1 or 2 people, right? Because it always gives you an excuse to leave.
Exactly. I'm like,
always give you an excuse.
My cousin Kiki got a doctor appointment in the morning, and she my ride.
Right.
See, that's the thing. Like, Harold is such a good friend. Like, my cousin be having these events sometimes, and I'm like, damn, Harold, I don't want to stay the whole time. Can you drive me? So I can be like, Harold gotta go, and he gotta go.
Now,
like
you know you exposing yourself on the podcast, right?
I'm gonna edit that out. I'm like, oh, is that what she really did? But it turned out we both ended up liking it, and we actually stayed the whole time. I was like, I wasn't expecting that.
But it's a just in case, like, right? Because you know the people that you bring with you, you're gonna have a good time with them regardless, because they your friends. But it's always that just in case, because you know you can return the favor for them. Because me and my friends do that all the time, because they take me to stuff that they don't really want to go to, and then we'll actually end up having a good time. Or we'll stay for like 30 minutes and then dip because it's not for us.
You gotta have an excuse. We both got this the plan. What happened? Okay, all right. Then we go in there. I'm like, oh shit, man. Oh, it's 9 o'clock. Damn. We gotta go.
Right. The worst part is like when one person ready to go, then the other person get caught up in something, you be like, man, we came here for me, okay? This ain't even about you. Are you ready? Like,
you gotta nudge them like, remember the deal, remember the plan.
Right. So
get his number, let's go.
So relationships is definitely a major area that will affect your growth as a person and you accomplishing the goals that you want. Anything else that you guys can probably think of that may have a major effect on someone accomplishing their goals?
That was a whole Migo thing in itself. I like that.
No, I can't think of nothing.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You missed the straight to it.
Motherfuckers need a whole damn stadium behind them cheering them on to fucking go to the grocery store and get that damn turkey they need to make. No,
speaking of grocery stores, like, you ever went to a store? Well, you probably haven't. But you ever went to a store like Target? You went in there for some lotion and like some deodorant, and you left out spending $80.
I feel like that's in the same space as like people. Like, all of this boils down to focus.
Control.
Control. That is the underlying thing here. If your ass go to Target and you just supposed to get some toothpaste and you walk out with a shopping cart full of bullshit,
see,
where is the focus?
See, for me, it's like either or. It's a time like when I'm going in there, I have a one-track mind. I need to get out because I got shit to do. And the other times it's like, oh man, since I got the day off, let me go to the store.
Yeah, that's different though. Like, if you just hanging out and you happen to buy a lot of things, that's fine. But if you go there with a specific mindset and you on a budget and you come out of there looking like, you know,
I might just pay half my rent.
But I was like, but see, that's the problem too. Because what if you are going in there, you still on a budget and you distracted? You know what I'm saying? And you
not
just
focused.
That's the lack of focus. That's the underlying issue with everything we talked about today. Focus. If you don't have focus, if you can't tell Ray you can't help him out no more, and he keep bringing your ass back into it, next thing you you know your Huffy bike tires done got slashed, you can't ride to the train station no more. That's a problem. You know, if you can't motivate yourself to fill out that job application, that's a problem.
So do you guys have any tips to help people focus to reach their goals?
When you get to a point where you just know enough is enough, and you like, you know what, who am I doing this for? Mm-hmm. Am I doing it for the gram? No, I'm doing it for me.
Right.
That's when you get a focus. Like, all that shit become like background noise, and you just like, you can see a little light at the tunnel as you keep getting closer.
Mm-hmm. Harold, any tips for people to stay focused?
Get out the house, I would say. It depends on what you're trying to do, but sitting around the house all day is not, even if you're just studying for a test that you got, or whatever it is you're looking for a job, sometimes just getting out the house, getting out of that comfort zone is exactly the motivation you need to get your ass in order.
Okay. One thing I would say to help people stay focused is, because this helped me a lot, like when I first started school in college, I was not focused. I was all over the place. I basically flunked out my first year, but by the grace of God, I was able to go back. But when I realized that fast food wasn't going to play with this money, and I only had a limited amount, I'm like, get this done, because ain't no coming back. I started using my mornings to focus myself. When I wake up, I wasn't grabbing my phone. I wasn't like, instantly just trying to see what was going on in the world. I put that focus on me. I got up earlier. I did a little meditation. I got ready for my day. Kind of like some Easter egg stuff, talking in the mirror, letting yourself know what goals you have, and then go deal with the BS of the world. Don't instantly throw yourself in that, because you definitely can't focus. You pick up your phone. Oh, what Beyonce doing? What Cardi doing? What Shakira doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, that social media shit is a huge distraction. That's part of the reason why I deleted my Facebook, my Instagram. Mm-hmm. Is like, it just became a compulsion. I would just grab my phone out of habit. Like, I wouldn't even need to do nothing. Just grab my phone and bust open Instagram immediately.
It's sad that a lot of people can't even sleep without being next to their phones.
Exactly.
I don't do that no more. I put my phone away from me because I want to focus on sleep. Focus on what you're doing. If you sleep, you sleep. Don't be checking your phone 5 o'clock in the morning. If somebody send you a message, they just gonna have to wait.
This is a public service announcement. The next release of iOS, for those of you who have an iPhone or iPad, which should be coming out either next month or in early October, is going to have a feature which will inform you how much time you are spending. This is part of the operating system. It will tell you how much time you are spending in each app. So you can look at how many times you wake up your phone each day. So you can see how much time you wasted on your damn cellular device each day. A device which nobody was using 20 years ago. It's like a core part of our lives now. We all wasting time on this shit.
Right.
So you can see how much of your life you wasting looking at fucking Cardi B and Nicki Minaj's fake ass.
But you know what? Y'all understand what y'all saying, but I don't be going on there looking at what the people doing. Mm. When I pull my phone, I be on my phone. Not so much on social media so much lately, unless I'm posting stuff. Mm-hmm. But I'll be like, oh shit, I got my phone. I got a camera right here. I'm outside. And then I and I do like these little random weird little videos that, it's been getting traction.
Right.
But I don't know.
Deleted, apparently.
But it came back. Well, I put it back. They didn't delete the second time.
But it's not like you're spending all your time doing that, because when you and you and your daughter go out, y'all still be having fun. Y'all still enjoy the time that y'all have. It's people who was constantly on their phone missing the entire world go by. You know what I'm saying? You could see a shooting star, but no, you're on your phone type thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like, like you said, that's a major point of distraction. Yeah. So any last thing you want to say?
So, any closing thoughts for this one?
Stay off your phone. Give yourself some time in the morning. And be careful of the relationships you form that will affect how you grow.
Stop talking about shit and just do it. Tired of you hype beast out here.
Just find the motivation to stay focused. Mm-hmm. Even if things don't work out the way you want, everything not going to go as planned. Mm-hmm. But just know to stay driven.
And take it a day at a time.
There you go.